Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lay. Today we are jumping into some Halloween looks. I'm not going to do a lot this month because like I said in my last video or my last makeup video, I just moved, so yeah, like I'm kind of getting started really late in the month, but it's okay. We got a look here. I'm going to do my next Halloween look is going to be so simple. Anybody can do it, kind of like the scarecrow look I did, which if you haven't seen, make sure that you click on this card right here so that you can see it. It's a very simple Halloween look. It's just like one of those looks, like, you know, like you have like those last minute parties or get-togethers or, you know, whatever, especially like now with Corona. So it might be like, you know, a last minute get together with like family or something. That's what I suggest, you know, social distancing. Woo woo woo. So today's look is a pumpkin carving on my face. So it's kind of like, you know, my goal was to make it look like the pumpkin was like on my face, if that makes sense, or like coming from my face, or part of my face is pumpkin. I don't like, I was gonna do like the whole like mask thing, which I could still do. I was gonna do like the whole mask thing, but anyway, it's a really simple look. You don't have to have like special makeup or special, you know, face stuff. Everything that I used on my face is things that I use all the time or products that I already have in my collection, like a black lipstick, orange eyeshadow, a charcoal eyeliner. These are things that I probably don't use like every day on the daily, but I do own them because I do wear them from time to time. So, oh, I have a fan on in the background because I do have two lights on and two large windows and it gets really hot in here. So with my hair, I just did a simple half up, half down. You can do like a ponytail, whatever you want. But if you do something like that, I would suggest like, you know, maybe like contouring right here, just so it's like not all up in your hairline. Just a suggestion. So here's what my pumpkin side looks like, and here is my glam side, you know, regular brown everyday pumpkin spice smoky eye. I mean, who isn't here for a smoky eye moment? I know that I am. I gotta get to the bank and no, I'm not going like this, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this intro up and let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so let's go, pumpkin. Here we go, fresh face, clean and ready to go. I'm starting off by doing my brows. Since you all clearly saw I only like glamified one side of my face, so I'm just doing my brows. I'm using my Morphe brow pencil. This is in the shade Chocolate Mousse. And I'm just doing a normal brow routine. I actually don't think I've done a brow routine on here in a while. So if that's something that you all would be interested in, please leave a comment down below. So like I said, I'm just doing, you know, my usual brows. And then I'm going to move on to my face, or no, to my eyes. So here is some tape that I have. I just found this like in the midst of moving. I don't think this is like construction tape. This is like art tape that I got from Joann's, and I'm just placing the, you know, straight side next to my eye so that I can create a nice crisp line. And I'm prepping my eye using the P. Louise base in Rumor 3, I believe, because this one is like slightly lighter than the rest of my skin. When I use Rumor 5, that's usually when I'm using like really deep shades and colors, or if I'm using a lot of neutrals. I tend to go for Rumor 3 when I do want it to pop just a little bit more. And I'm also using that to carve out my eyebrows and just, you know, sharpen up that line, have it looking super cute, super done. And like my brows are not done or have not been done in a little while, so I'm just, you know, cleaning that up. I don't think they've been done in like a month. Like it's time to, you know, wax. I do like the hard wax now, and I have been waxing my own brows. Well, I've been waxing my own brows for years, but I would always use like honey wax and strips. But I've been using the hard wax and I absolutely love it. It's so much easier and a lot less to clean up. So I'm just doing my normal brow routine, and there's nothing special about this. And then I'm moving on to my Sassy Sienna. This is from Dose of Colors. This is one of those eyeshadow palettes they have that has like 5 eyeshadows in it. The first shade I'm going in with is the second to last brown. It's really hard to tell the names of these because the names are in the back, and it's really like it's not anything like definitive. So I think the name of this color is Bossy. So I'm using the shade Bossy on my lid, and then I'm going in with Brassy, which is like a peachy orange shade. It's the second shade to the lightest, and I'm placing that in the crease area, blending out the edges of the brown. And then normally I would use like the lighter orange in here if I just wanted to fade up. But for this look, I'm going to go in with my ColourPop California Love palette, and I'm going to add that yellow at the top. I kind of wanted this eyeshadow look to have like, you know, like the fall leaves type vibes. So you have like that reddish brown, you have your orange, and then you'll have like your yellow. So this is the California Love palette that I'm using by ColourPop. It's a great palette, very inexpensive, and it has great everyday shades, so I highly suggest it. And I'm just lightly putting that in the area moving up towards my brow bone. And that's pretty much it for this eye. You can pop on a wing if you want, which I am going to do. So for my liner, I'm going in with this Essence Matte Liquid Liner. You've seen me use this in plenty of videos prior to. It's actually a really good liner. It's like $2 at Ulta, which is so crazy because a lot of the liquid liners that I have are more expensive and they do not work as well. It does have a little bit of a fragrance, but once it dries, we're good to go. So now I'm moving on to pretty much like sketching out where I want the pumpkin, you know, to go. I don't know if it's because I'm brown or what the case may be, but I used a dark liner and it just worked. This is just so that I don't add like foundation to this area and like waste it. I've seen in videos people using the foundation all over their place, sketching out where they want their, you know, look to be, and then using a wipe to wipe it off, but I just feel like that's a waste of product. So right here I'm just, you know, sketching out where I want everything to be, and I'm using a this is like the Maybelline Skinny Liner. You can use whatever you have. This was just, you know, it sits in my collection. I never use it, so I figured it'd be good to trace and, you know, kind of get like how I want it to be. You want to kind of have like a vision. So once I did that, I went ahead and I started adding my foundation to the other side of my face. For this side, I'm using my Maybelline Conceal Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. I am in the shade 09 Tan. I just used a picture of any of that. I should have taken my own picture, but this is what I got. So I'm in 09 Tan, and I'm using a like eyeshadow brush to kind of carve around the lines so that I can blend it into like a larger area. Once I have it in the larger area, then I can take my normal foundation brush and pat it in my skin like I usually, you know, like I would usually do, and kind of blend it together so it looks like I have on foundation, like the regular foundation that I would normally wear. So I have to make sure that I get all of these sections that are on the outside of the line. And then I'm just continuing on with my face like I normally would. For concealer, I'm using the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer. This is in the shade in the shade number 14. And I'm crispening up my lines. And then once I do that, I'm going back in with my liner. And there's going to be a lot of back and forth in this video because when you get on the wrong side, you want to make sure that you clean it up. So on the other side, I'm taking some of my Wet n Wild paint pot. This is in the shade white, clearly, And I'm just messily putting that all over my face because my skin is brown. If I put orange on top of a regular base on my brown skin, it's not going to come out as a bright, vibrant orange. It's going to come out like a burnt orange because of the skin tone underneath. So I do have to change my skin to extremely white. And then I do go back and forth with my foundation brush to, again, fix the lines, get any of that white base off of my foundation. Now I'm going in with the James Charles palette, and I'm going to take the shade 518. It's the bright orange shade, and I'm just going to place that all where the white is. And as you can see, like, it is showing off as orange, like it is orange. This is like some serious color correcting right here. So I'm using that brush to get all the large major areas, and then I'm going to take a smaller brush and I'm going to go in the smaller areas just to make sure that I get the corners and that, you know, any place that I made a divot, it should be in. So like I said, there's a lot of back and forth. There are areas that I did have to go over several times, not only with the orange, but, you know, with the foundation so that it wouldn't be on my face. And I'm just kind of like cleaning up those areas and retracing these lines. I started to retrace the mouth with the brown liner, and then I realized that it was pointless and I was just making a mess. So I went in with this MAC Retro Matte Liquid Lip, and this is in the shade Caviar. And any place that is going to be black, I use this because it dries matte. So it goes on creamy, which makes it easier to manipulate around my face, but then it dries matte, so it's like perfect. And then of course, anything that I cover with it, like if I messed up, you couldn't tell. So I just kind of went over those lines with it, and I even used it on my nose and my eyes. And once it dried, it was like perfect. I did lose some of the footage of my pumpkin transformation, but you'll see. I mean, there was a part where I added black eyeshadow to the eye part, but I don't think I got that footage. I think that was one of the parts of my footage that I lost. But just so you know, I did add black eyeshadow to the eye part. And now I'm just taking some more of that brown shade from the Sassy Sienna's palette. I'm using the shade Bossy, and I'm pretty much carving out like those indentations that you see in a pumpkin. I also took a little bit of the darkness and tried to put it around my hairline just to kind of contour that area. I really didn't want to put orange in my hairline. I am not that dedicated. So now I'm taking this Violet Voss palette in the Fruit Sorbet, and I'm taking this light beige shade, and I'm just going to create some depth in my face. So in the center of each orange patch, I'm kind of adding this beige shade, and when you go back and forth with it over the orange kind of mixes in with it, and it starts to look more like a highlight and instead of like, you know, like a patch of like beige. But it actually worked really well. I felt like it definitely gave depth to the pumpkin, and I just kept going back and forth with that until it looked the way I wanted it to. Like, there was a lot of like back and forth with this, but you do have to go over it quite a bit just so that it looks orange. And then again, over the brown lines, I just wanted them to look more blurred and not like a harsh brown line, so I did go over that a little bit as well. Again, I would suggest, if you really wanted this to look very pumpkin-like, to you know, Elmer's glue your brows, but I didn't feel like doing all of that. So I'm taking a orange eyeliner. This is by ColourPop, and I'm just tightlining my lower lash line, and then I'm going to take a little bit of orange eyeshadow and just kind of like set that and bring it down into my lashes. I just kind of wanted anything that was going to be orange to be orange, you know what I mean? And having a sip of my tea. I drink a lot of tea, y'all. And this black lipstick is awesome because I was able to drink it and it didn't transfer. So make sure you follow my stories on Instagram so you can see like all of my behind the scenes. Yeah, that's where all the fun is. So now I'm taking more of the darker shade out of the Sassy Sienna's palette. I'm taking Oh So Sassy, and I'm actually creating the depth. So in any area where it's kind of like curved, I'm darkening. And you just kind of want to take that all the way around. And I actually lost the footage for this too, but I just kept going. The more you blend out, the more you add until it's completely blended. And then I took a little bit of my eyeliner and I kind of went over the lines again and then blurred those out. I did lose some of that footage, not gonna lie, but this is pretty much the same motion. You know, pull it out until it completely blends out and then go back in with the darker shade until it looks like this. So now we have a separation there, we have the face, and now I have to finish, you know, my lashes and everything else. So I'm adding mascara to my top lashes on the other side. I also tightlined my lower lash line and added some more of the Bossy shade to my lower lash on the glam side. Face was itching, sorry. Whenever you have makeup, it's so helpful to have nails so you can just tap that itch out. So now I'm just like messing with the edges, you know, adding some highlight and just to see if it would work. So for bronzer, I'm going in with the shade Fabulous. This is by Morphe. It is their 8H palette. And then I also went in with the shade, I can't remember the name of this shade, but I'm sure it popped up on the screen. For lips, I'm going in with Toasty. It's my favorite lip liner by Morphe. And I'm trying my best to only line one side of my lip, which is a lot harder to do, let me tell you, when you're thinking about it. Then I was looking through colors and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. For lips, I actually ended up going in with Tarte's Bestie and just blending that in, making sure I go over it with my lip liner so that it's nice and blended. And you know, one side of my face looks pretty glamorous. Then I added some random lashes that I had in a case. It was actually some BYL lashes. I know that for a fact because it's the only pair of lashes I had in there, but I can't remember the name. So these are the lashes. I'm just gonna pop those on and it would complete the look. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. Happy Halloween. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe to my channel if you care. Make sure to share, help me grow. And until next time, beauties, stay blessed. Happy Halloween.